strap yourself in, brothers, because today we are talking brand new Warhammer 40,000 lore, and it's all around the 500 worlds. There's been some battles which I personally think could hint to even more models that could be dropping with this big end campaign now leading up to 11th edition. So let's jump in, let's look at this, let's read all this, and let's speculate on potentially could this lead to something much bigger. So if you want to read along with me, in the background right now, these are the battles of renown, some of the big battles that have taken place during the reconquest of the 500 worlds. Titus, the Wardens of Ultramar fighting their way, trying to reclaim it in Guilliman's name. It actually says here, combining their specialities on the front lines of the Ultramarine Reclamation, Dimitri and Titus, Wardens of Ultramar, have achieved many grand victories and earned lofty honours in recognition of their prowess. And one of the first big battles we have is Strife on Boruta 2. Hopefully I have not butchered that name. I probably have, knowing me. And it states, one of Titus's first actions on the Vesterbar front, this intervention followed an uprising amongst the labour guilds of Boruta 2. The unrest began as a protest against the annexation of Boruta 2 in the realm of Ultramar, soon escalating into an outright warfare thanks to the mechanication of the heretical agents. Having arrived on world in advance of Titus's fleet, Lucia Vesper soon realized diplomacy alone would not end the fighting. She set about unifying as many pro-Ultramarine factions as possible, ensuring that by the time Titus's forces arrived, the rebels were already on the brink of annihilation. A brief and surgical campaign followed. Amalia Manevras and her soldiers secured lab districts and manufactoriums one at a time, driving the surviving rebels into the eastern quadrant of the planet's capital city. This allowed the ancient Gadriel to lead a small strike force in decapitating attack against the rebel leaders, ending the fighting and securing Boruta 2's loyalty. So on that one, it's basically rebels of the Ultramar sector saying, hey, we don't want this, and they go in and they just basically cull it. Do I think we're going to get any models from that? No, probably not. That's just some cool lore added in there. Are we going to get some like heretical agents? No, nothing like that. Just cool lore for that one. But this next one, I definitely think this potentially could be some new models because we're fighting orcs. There's a big lead up to orcs. We've been following the rumors with the 11th edition narrative all the way going to Armageddon. Things are starting to turn now. The cogs are slowly shifting, and it's getting me excited. But again, in the background, the lore right now, and this says the Battle of Osymanden Way. Again, hopefully I haven't butchered that. Orc pirates had plagued the warp routes between Kaspos and Osymanden systems for several decades before the outbreak of the Plague Wars. The raids intensified following the withdrawal of the Death Guard. Determined to bring the raids to an end, Captain Titus led his fleet to track down and eliminate the threat once and for all. Commodore Silver's analyst, sorry, I can't really speak. Commodore Silver's analyst of the previous orc assaults, combined with diversionary insight of astropath Cornelius, saw Titus's vessel catch up with the main body of the orc fleet in an asteroid belt at the outer edge of the Osymanden system. A furious naval battle ensued, with heavy losses on both sides. The superior gunnery of the magnificent enthroned methodically blasted apart the orc void ships, while the Ultramarines contingent launched boarding actions against the Lupin Xenos flagships. Oh mate, this gets me so excited for potential boarding patrols and stuff like that. I'm really hyped. The fighting aboard the orc vessels was exceptionally brutal, ending only when Captain Titus slew Captain Gulgor Hull Smasher in single combat. So what we have there, of course, we have orcs, we have potential of new scenarios. One of the things I've been talking about now is with boarding actions, like we've just got like some Necron terrain with like so-called boarding actions and like the Tomb World and stuff like that. What if we start to see like Eldar versions of this, Orc versions of this, and this segment of text here, this lore mentions like the Ultramarines literally boarded the Orc ships. So potentially, what if this is going to be featured in a box set. Again, all theory, all speculation at this point, but with a build-up towards 11th, like I mentioned with the Orcs, I think anything is really possible now. Could we get him some, like, more Orc pirate themed stuff? Everything's piratey at the moment. You got the Red Corsairs, you got the Eldar Corsairs. This is just something to sit on, to think about, but potentially this could be something big. And the final thing mentioned here is literally where we're at right now with the big box sets that are all going releasing with the Nightbringer and stuff. It's Necrons versus the Ultramarines. I keep saying this. Are we about to see Titus take on and win the Nightbringer? I'm sure we'll have to just wait and see when the big Titus book releases in a couple of weeks. Again, I'll do a full breakdown of that, but the new lore, what we have right now, is in the background, and this is the Battle of Novamangor. Again, hopefully I pronounced it right. The Ultramarines' intervention on Novamangor began with a desperate call for aid from the world's belated colonists who disturbed a hidden Necron tomb and found themselves assailed by implacable Xenos. Implacable Xenos. Implacable? Valrak, come on now. Implacable Xenos. Upon arriving on the war-torn planet, Titus was embroiled in a desperate war for survival. Fighting on Novamangor attracted the attention of the cursed Necron known as Necrosaur. The Necrosaur and its corrupted followers worshipped the Azord god, and the Nightbringer descended upon the belated world, seeking to seize the shard of their broken god. Thus began a series of vicious battles between the Imperial forces. I read that as Imperial Fist, and I got really excited. Imperial forces and the Necrosaur's corrupted followers that embroiled in a world in a violent conflict. Like I said, that's literally setting up the scenario where it's the Nightbringer, it's the Necrons, it's this new Necron character, Titus, his command squad. It's all going down now. This is the big scrap. This is the big fight. I'm sure we're going to get the conclusion in these 500 world books what actually happens, but as I've just literally mentioned, I think Titus is going to end up fighting the Nightbringer, and he's going to win. I know, it sounds absolutely absurd, but for what people don't understand, Titus is the new face now of Warhammer. I actually want to do a video dedicated to this, because this is the new Warhammer 40,000. I'm not lying when I say this. Titus is literally Uriel Ventress. Everything Uriel Ventress did, Titus has done, but better, and he's been pushed in the limelight now. Space Marine 2 has made him like the main face, the main appearance, what people know as the main Space Marines. I know, I hate it because I'm an Imperial Fist fan. I love my Black Templars, my Sons of Dawn, but Titus is the main face of 40k, so I can definitely see him taking down some big characters like this. It doesn't make sense, but this is probably what they're going to do. Necron plays, it doesn't look good for you. Anyway, those are the 3 little segments of text from the upcoming White Dwarf magazine that give us a little bit of backstory in the upcoming 500 World campaigns. Again, I'm sure there's going to be even more stuff dropping when this book comes out, and if there is, I'll do a full lore breakdown, as I always do, and put it on this channel. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching, as always. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, post it down below, and I'll have a nice little chin wag down there, as we always do. See ya. Have a great day, evening, night, where you are in the world, and bye-bye.